The boss wants to play and pulls out a gun, thinking it would scare Dalton, but Dalton just chuckles, seeing the guy's persistence. Dalton is cracking up in frustration. It seems that now is the perfect moment to demonstrate to him what real intimidation truly entails. I woke in a house situated by the roadside, and I am present there every single night without fail. Bothered by henchmen, Dalton's impatient. He asks Frankie what they want. I focus on the diner. Frankie admits ignorance. Dalton sees no point pursuing, but knows it's not simple. The Brandt family pulls the strings behind Glass Island, planning a development project. The hotel project isn't working out, causing trouble. Suddenly, Dad calls, and Brandt doesn't dare to pick up. He throws his phone into the ocean. That night, a naked man leaps from a hotel window, clearly caught in a linear escape, yet waves goodbye to beauty stylishly. Strolling into the night market, he spots a tall guy whose clothes look totally his style. This tough guy is Knox. Brandt's dad's hired muscle, clearly to take on Dalton. Dalton's clueless. Accepting Dr. Ollie's invite, Dalton cruises deep into the ocean on a speedboat. Near an island shallows, they finish 2 bottles. Fueled by liquor, Ollie confesses to Dalton, but good times are fleeting. After Ollie drops Dalton off, cops visit. The sheriff scolds him, but as he pulls a gun, forcing Dalton to leave. Dr. Ollie suddenly comes rushing in, and that's when Dalton realizes what's going on. Turns out, the sheriff is Ollie's dad, who worked for the Brandt family. They fake tourism, but earn on drugs. Dalton's suspicions are confirmed, leading him to ponder if he should continue meddling. Later that night, Brandt shows up at the diner himself. He shows a video of Dalton killing in a fight to mock him, but Dalton stays silent. After Brandt exits, Knox struts in with his gang, looking cocky and ready to rumble. In no time, the whole diner is turned upside down, while Dalton remains seated through it all. When Knox calls him out by name, Dalton reluctantly steps up. Knox is Igor reveling in fight thrills. Dalton fears himself, not him. Once furious in the octagon, he lost control, killing his opponent. He stopped only when the latter ceased breathing. He doesn't want ties with the Brandt family anymore. Fearing another slip, Dalton curbs himself with Knox. But after being tossed out, Dalton stands up again, visibly ready to unleash fury, but he forces himself to hold it together and heads back to his boat. Dalton packs to leave, but Frankie rushes in to plead with him, confessing he hid the truth. He knows why Brandt is after him. Frankie reckons Dalton's bailing because he's scared of their power. Are you really scared? Yeah, I'm terrified. More than you can imagine. Dalton drags his suitcase to the station, spotting a bunch of cop cars nearby. Brandt's goons set the bookstore ablaze to drive him away. Dalton, who planned to leave, feels sorry for these clowns. He goes to Brandt's villa catching arsonist cleaning. One spots Dalton, pulls a knife, ready for action. One look is all it takes. Dalton lands a punch that breaks the guy's jaw, sending him plummeting into the pool for an early vacation. Not long later, Dalton strolls out with a body slung over his shoulder. Outside, the mechanic witnesses this and realizes his plight. Rubbing his Dalton busted arm, he obediently spills the beans. Brandt had a deal on the beach this morning. He quickly hops on his bike and pulls. At midnight, Dalton drags a box with the body to Brandt's Steel Beach, seeing a cop dragging one to board. He sneaks up and knocks the cop out. Opening the box, he finds it stuffed with cash, so he sets the speedboat to autopilot and takes off. In front of the cops, he shoots holes in the body with his gun. Dalton knows it won't revive the dead, but at least it buys him some time. He grabs a stick and knocks out another cop before heading back to his boat. While making bombs for his next plan, he's surprised when the sheriff drops by, saying Ollie's been kidnapped by Brandt, asking Dalton to hand. Dalton's asked to rescue his daughter from Brandt. He doubts the old fox, but won't risk Ollie. So he sends the sheriff away. Arriving at Brandt's yacht by speedboat, he sees the sheriff and Brandt lounging on the couch. Absolutely no sign of the daughter having been kidnapped. The sheriff bluntly admits that the entire kidnapping incident was a conspiracy aimed at him from start to finish. How do I know I can trust you? Once I get my money, you can have her, you bastard. Dalton sees these two fools scheming and starts losing his cool. Just then, he spots Nox speeding in on his boat, and tired of the chit-chat, Dalton pulls out a remote. He blows up his own boat with the remote, then swiftly jumps into action. Dalton one-punches a henchman, rushes downstairs for Ollie, and knocks a flaming idiot into the sea. Meanwhile, trapped in the cabin, Ollie's about to break a window to escape when Dalton bursts in. Just as they turn to leave, a henchman blocks their exit, but water pressure blasts through, smashing the glass and sweeping the henchman away. Dalton notices water flooding the cabin. They scramble out of the window, escaping the flood. Soon, they pop up to the surface and Dalton dunk a henchman under water, immediately telling Ollie to Nox, cruising back on his boat, comes barreling in with intentions to squash Dalton. In a split-second move, Dalton blocks with the henchman he's holding, just barely dodging Nox's deadly move. Meanwhile, Ollie climbs onto a boat only to find Brant has re-kidnapped her, whisking her away. In the water, Dalton spots Nox charging again. Perfect timing, he jumps onto a speedboat, adeptly dodging Nox's attack. Dalton shoves Nox into the sea, then quickly chases after Brant's boat, catching Brant's eye as he realizes Dalton's hot on his tail and a tiny. Suddenly feeling cocky again, he turns the boat around, intending for a showdown with Dalton, who finds himself at the back of his boat.